quite a few years now, the #1 budget golf ball that you can buy has been from Costco, and it has been the COSTCO KIRKLAND Signature Performance Plus. But now we have a new Costco golf ball, the COSTCO KIRKLAND Performance Signature Plus, Volume 3. And these have been out in the States for quite some time now. I think I'm the first person in the UK to actually get my hands on them. That's because they're not actually out here in the UK just yet, and I bought them for a lot more money off Amazon, which was quite annoying actually. But these are the new volume ball, and you can tell a few differences straight off the bat. Today I'm going to play golf with them. I'm going to compare them against last year's model, see which one's potentially better. Although this is volume 3, it's actually the 4th generation of Kirkland golf ball. Let's see exactly what the differences are whilst looking at them. And to kick things off, I want to know just what makes this new model better. You can see we've actually got two little lines next to the Performance Plus. That does denote that it is the new model as opposed to last year's model. It's still a 3-piece urethane ball. The one thing I will say is the paint looks a little bit dimmer than last year's model. I don't know if that's on purpose or if I've just got a kind of duller batch here. But first things first, let's cut these open and let's see just exactly what the differences are inside these balls, because they must have tweaked them somehow. It would be a little bit pointless changing them, wouldn't it? You can see we have two totally different boxes here as well. The new box is black and red. The old one is the silver box that we've all come to know and love when picking up our Heinz ketchup, our toilet roll and Huggies nappies for me at the moment. But you can see actually that the old ball's supposed to have a yellow core, the new ball's supposed to have a red core. Now this can be a big misconception. I'm going to cut these open now and see, just to be honest, which one looks the best. And a lot of people do think, is this one yellow? It is yellow. We do have the yellow core, we have the blue mantle, then we obviously have the white shell on there, which is the urethane. Let's look at the new ball. You can see that that is the old ball with the single arrow, and this is the new ball. I must admit I do feel bad cutting this open because it's a brand new ball that's never been hit. But is this red inside? Does that make a difference to the material? I can see it is red inside. It actually has a kind of grey mantle. So if we compare these two golf balls before even hitting them, you'll see the old ball here on the right, the new ball on the left. They actually look very, very similar in construction. Now, a lot of people might think, oh, well, the red must be a different material to the yellow, but having spent time in ball testing labs and in ball, does that fit together? No, it doesn't. Sorry, I knew you would be wondering. But having spent time in ball testing labs and in ball plants, it's actually just the dye that they actually put in the materials for different batches, so you know what batch there is. So it might just be that they kind of ran out of yellow dye. It might be that they just wanted it to look different on the box, and they would know that people like us would be cutting these balls open. Now, that's all good and well, but how do they perform? Do they perform any different? Remember, it's still a 3-piece urethane cover with a core, a mantle, and a cover. And for me, it's a really interesting one, because what I love about the Costco golf balls, I loved it about the old generation, I'm hoping I will love it about the new generation, is it is pretty much a very, very well-performing golf ball for a very, very good price. They used to be around £1 a ball. I think they may have gone up a little bit now, but I'm really interested to see what's on the box. So if you look here, the first of all, it says we have a core, soft and highly elastic core to maximise distance. It's exactly the same on both boxes. The mantle interacts with soft cover to generate optimised spin for irons and wedge shots. Exactly the same on both boxes. And of course the cover, durable urethane cover for spin and greenside control. Again, exactly the same on both boxes. So what's really changed here? I'm going to mix these balls up. It's very easy to do so because they look so similar. The only difference is really those little arrows. And I'm going to see if I can tell a difference in ball flight on these when we get there, and indeed if we maybe hit the green with more or not. Because the big thing is, have they maintained that good feel and the good performance? Right, straight away, that is all over the flag. That felt gorgeous. Lovely, high, boring flight. That might be a little bit long, but it's all over the flag. It definitely rose nice and high. I had no problem getting that ball up in the air. That's something which you certainly want. And I have to laugh, actually, because I was watching Let's Play Through's review of these Kirkland balls, and I really enjoyed it because he said that when he bought the old balls, he paid over the price from Amazon, and I've bought the new balls overpriced from Amazon. So maybe we should have got together and done that, because I can't get the new ones yet, and he can't get the old ones anymore. So it's amazing. I can't wait to get the Kirkland clubs. Right, another one. That's another one really easy to launch. I've not quite caught that. That's just fading off to the right side of the green. It's still gone flag high. I would anticipate that those balls have gone a slightly different distance, but then if you are playing golf regularly, how good do you have to be to warrant spending so much money on performance golf balls? That's my big gripe really with golf, is the cost. That's another one all over it. Again, I don't feel like I'm seeing a difference in peak height here or in launch. And they're really close together, to be honest. I've struck that really, really nicely. And if I was to say anything, I'd say that last one felt just a touch firmer, maybe. Obviously, it could be off a slightly different area of the club, but these are 6 irons, by the way. Oh, that felt so good. That felt so good. That's all over the flag as well if it's not long. Now I'll show you where these are, because for me, I've hit some really good shots there, and they might be a little bit long. I feel like maybe I had too much club, but like proximity to the flag for aim, I'm really, really happy with those. How are they for distance, and how are they with driver? Because that's one of the big things. You don't want to be losing performance with driver with this new ball, do you? The last generation, the Volume 2 was that good. It almost has me a bit worried, like, are they tweaking something that shouldn't be tweaking? Are they trying to improve it? Or are they just putting an extra little dash on to make you feel like they've got a new generation with a new package? And you know, this is quite a funny one, because I do feel like COSTCO or Kirkland changing the colour of that mantle, that inner layer, it's a little bit sneaky, because I feel like it does make people think, oh, they've changed it, I need to go and get the new ones. Obviously, I've got them to test them, to see what we can do with them and see how they do perform against the old one. But I feel like, really, just change the name. Change the name away from what the toilet roll is, away from what the toothpaste is, away from, I don't know, call it something else. Interestingly, these balls have all reacted very, very similarly, as I would expect. Just some nice shots. I think I had too much club, but realistically, that one was the best strike, and then the other 3 were, yeah, pretty good, so I'm happy with those. The big thing that I'm really enjoying about these balls as well is the stopping distance. So let's just see exactly which ball's which here, because they've both stopped pretty much exactly the same, haven't they? This is proper real world testing. This is one of the new balls with the double arrows, and that stopped within, well, very, very close, hasn't it? I'm hoping this might be, and it is, one of the old balls, so it stopped exactly the same, so we can definitely discount here that they're not stopping any quicker or have really any more control. But again, I wouldn't anticipate that, because Kirkland are also governed by the rules of the RNA and the USJ. They can't just all of a sudden make a magic golf ball, neither can Titleist, TaylorMade or Callaway. But I'm happy with those. And I think another really interesting test is not only how do these balls feel, because that sounds a little bit firmer. Actually, they sound exactly the same, don't they? But also, how do they perform around the greens? Because if you do see a notable difference, then maybe it's worth hanging on for the new ones. I mean, the thing is, it's not like you can go and buy the old ones anyway if you are in the States now. But the big thing is, you want to know that they haven't got better, they haven't regressed as such. Again, I don't know which ball's which here, and that for me is probably, that sat really nicely, probably the best way of testing these balls. Test them blind and just see which ball potentially gives you the best outcome, because that's what short game's all about, isn't it? It's all about outcome. But I'm getting some really nice control with those balls. We're out of the rough, it's wet and damp as well, so you're not going to get loads of spin, and this isn't the easiest golf shot in the world. I've got a lob wedge and I can really just play some lovely shots in there. I've not felt a difference with those. I'd be surprised if there's a huge difference in performance. I feel like this one maybe spun a little bit more, but that might have just been a better strike. That is one of the new balls as well. This one is one of the old balls, and this again, very, very similar. New ball, old ball. So we've actually got old ball, new ball, new ball. It's tied. One of the big things you might think about is versatility of the ball and durability. If they do last longer, then there might be better value, even though they may be a touch more expensive than the old balls. Like if that was to mark up, which some golf balls would, out of a bunker, and then you have to replace it, is it a better ball, you ask? Come on. There we go. Really interested to see how these new covers do cope with that. This is a brand new TaylorMade wedge, so it should be absolutely ripping the cores off them, or the covers. And if there's one thing I love doing, it's testing golf balls for short game, because so many people don't really think about it, and it can really save you shots and prove you need different balls. That felt lovely out of the sand. Just getting loads of great control there. Feel like you're not really going to get much more control with a more premium ball, I challenge anyone to hit 4 bunker shots closer than those. Go in. Oh, that's the big thing. They put a smile on your face, these balls, for a proportion of the price of a Pro V1, a TP5 and a Chrome Soft. And for me, realistically, just realise you can't actually see where they are, but like, you're taking that all day, aren't you? For me, realistically, unless you're competing at a very high level, I think someone actually said this in a comment the other day in a video that I did about some Costco clubs potentially coming. Why are you spending so much money on golf balls? Save your money, have lessons, go and play more golf. And you can see durability wise, no real huge differences here. We have marks on all of them really, which you're gonna have from bunker shots like that. I feel like it's just the same material. I don't think they've changed the material of the urethane at all really. So far, just a different coloured core. Okay, so I hear what you're all thinking. James, what is the verdict? Has this ball got any better? Has it got any worse? And what's it like with driver? I'm going to hit some drives off this final hole. We're going to play the hole with the worst drive with each ball and see what we can score on the 18th hole with the new COSTCO ball and the old COSTCO ball. Is there a huge difference? I'm not sure. Have they changed a lot? They've definitely changed the colours and the packaging. I feel like they could have changed more, to be honest, especially when it comes down to that kind of alignment aid. Obviously, they could have put like a thick black, they could have done anything instead of just putting like an extra arrow on it, which to me, I mean, it doesn't really look that different, does it? Right, I've got a couple of balls here. We're going to send them away. I'm going to find the worst one with each ball, and then we're going to go from there. So it's actually the perfect hole to test these on because we're into the wind a little bit. It's quite a tight hole. You can, it's a dog leg to the left. The ideal line is just over that bunker, and then it opens up massively if you can hit it a long way. I'm going to go more to the right of the bunker probably because of that wind. Just try and get some good big drives away. Right, that's a great start, just a lovely fade up the middle of that fairway. I don't know what ball that is, but it's a good start. The one thing I will say is they still feel good. I haven't hit any shots today and thought, oh, they've regressed, they've got worse. I mean, they're never going to make it worse, are they? But I feel like they've made an attempt to make it look different without really doing too much different. That's another good fade up that fairway. Really interested to see where those two are. I'm not sure which was which. They were both out the middle, and that's on the centre line. Same shot, just lower. Interested to see if that's a different ball or if I've just hit that a little bit lower. A lovely flight. Right, last one. Another lower one. Now, if I've hit new, old, or old, new, they're different flights. Maybe I've just kind of changed dynamically through impact. I'm not too sure. Again, how good do you have to be to see a huge difference in relation to the huge price difference? So guys, I just had to test these golf balls in the simulator for numbers to see if the new ball is any different. And to be honest, it was no different at all. It totally depended on how I struck it. You can see I hit some good ones and some bad ones, but I didn't see any real difference in spin rate, in ball speed, in launch angle, in anything that I need to report. So very, very similar, both good balls and both up there with premium balls for the money. But for me, nothing to report when it comes to numbers. I think this is a really good way of testing golf balls and clubs if you can. Test them blind, so you don't necessarily know which ball is which, because you might think, oh, I want the new one to be better, or I want the old one to be better. Not that that will be the case here, because I really don't care. But sometimes a blind test is quite a bit better, actually. I've hit 4 very consistent drives there, which does help the test as well. And I can see a few up in this fairway. So we have 2 on the left-hand side, 2 pretty much in the middle. I'm going to say distance-wise, they're all pretty much exactly the same. Obviously, it depends what kind of bounce they've took. This is the shortest one, and this is the one that I thought actually might have been the longest one. It's bang near the centre line, and that's one of the old golf balls. We have one further up. This is the best drive. This is the one, unfortunately, we're not taking for this challenge. If this is an old ball as well, I'll be very interested, because it felt consistent. That's a new ball. That's very interesting, because I thought that one would have been the longer one. Cat's amongst the pigeons now, because I thought, I don't know. Right, I can't actually believe how far we've got in here, but I'm going to chip a 5-iron into there. Playing into the wind. Can we keep it below the wind? This is the old ball. Oh, it'll be good. That's exactly why I love that old ball, because it just does everything you want it to do. That's chasing up to the front of the green wonderfully, and that's the worst ball with the new ball. So I think on that corner I might be able to take one less club. I've left it out to the right, and it's not low. Right, not great. Interestingly, I think that wind might have been stronger than what I thought. There's no way I'm blaming either golf ball for that. Interestingly, it always comes down to the short game. This is the new ball, which actually does look a little bit marked up now after a few uses. And that is honours even with the new COSTCO ball. The new COSTCO ball and the old ball. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, smash that subscribe button below. Will you be buying the brand new COSTCO V3 golf ball? Just make sure you don't pay double for it than I do, because it's good, but it's not that good.